Hey everybody, RC here. Welcome back to Dwarf Fortress and the Fortress of Anviltrumpets, episode number 10. So far, no attacks from the outside world. We've had our first trade caravan come through and we've made a deal with them. And last episode, we ended up with getting a a semi-large migration wave of 10 people. Probably our next one will be somewhere in the 20 to 35 range if I had to guess. So you remember we set up a meeting area here in the main hallway just to keep people from being outside. So that is where all of our new dwarfs have come to gather. And we are now seeing them just stack up in here. So we've now assigned them in Dwarf Therapist. At the end of last episode, we've assigned them specific jobs, and now we will unpause, let them get to work. And now that they have actually been given assignments, they should, start filtering out. Let's see. All right, so we've got our hallway. I'm going to go ahead and build my doors. I'm going to put it in planning mode, even though I have doors in inventory. I'm going to go ahead and stick those in there and get people working there. And remember, we had talked about the priority system. So you see how this guy's kind of they're ignoring all these sides, and they're coming down at these angles and, kind of doing some weird things. But once he gets here, he will actually stop because he will finish all the 3s before they start on the 4s. So that's actually going to be very good for us. Okay, so now he has stopped, and now he'll start clearing out and going back up towards the top. And I'm sure there's an algorithm. I'm sure there's an algorithm in the game that, if you pay enough attention, you can figure out where they will go. But there's that break line. And let's see. As soon as they clear out this side, I want to start putting in some tables. All right, so now I'm going to build tables. I'm going to turn planning mode on. Again, you don't have to turn planning mode on. It's just something I like to do. And we're going to do that. And then we're going to come back and build a chair in planning mode. And I'm just using my up and down arrows and then hitting enter to place it. So basically I'm going to have a row of tables here, seating here, facing towards the middle of the room. And then I will, 3 spaces in. All right. Then we'll do the same thing on this side with tables and chairs. All right, now while that is going on, they'll start moving that, and of course I don't have enough chairs and tables, so that's why planning mode is helpful. Now it will fire up the workshops to start producing more until the need is met. All right, I am going to now build a food stockpile, and I want to put that here. I'm going to build another food stockpile. Let's see, 2 spaces. I'm going to build that here. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to change this to only accept. So what I did is I just hit B, block all, so it turned everything off. And I'm going to accept drinks made from plants. So all the stuff that we're brewing in our brewery, they can start bringing here. On this one, I want to block everything, but I only want to allow prepared food. So this is food that's prepared in the kitchen area, down here in the kitchen. Now what I need to do there is come into this stockpile, and I need to turn off prepared food. So I just hit U and turn it off. And so now any prepared foods that are here will now go straight to the dining room, because where are they going to eat? In the dining room. So they'll come down here, grab their food, and go right to a table. All right. Now, we talked about moods in one of the very first episodes, that they are sometimes taken by moods. So if we look at our announcements by hitting the A key, our miner was digging. He was taken by a mood, so he quits his job, and he withdraws from society. So we'll zoom to his location. There he is right here. And you can see him with the white exclamation point. And he is going to go somewhere. So what we're going to do is we are going to click on him and we are going to hit F for follow and see where he goes. All right, he has claimed a mason's workshop. Now there are I think there's four types of moods in the game. So some of them allow very positive things to happen. So if we go back into Dwarf Therapist, we can see that in our crafters, in masonry, our best guy has a 4 and our second guy has a 2. Now this is on a 20-point scale. Okay, when we look at the rolls, it's on a 100-point scale, but this is on a 20-point scale. So 20 is where you eventually want to get. And you can see the miners are at 12 and 14. Why? Because they've been mining more than other people have been working, and so their skills have improved. So what a mood, if you get the right kind of mood, he is going to make an artifact, which is a very expensive piece of dwarven craftsmanship, but he has the ability to automatically become a master crafter. So he may jump up to a 20 in masonry. So that's what we'll be watching for to see what happens. Now, the very first one is typically really easy. He might need a piece or two of rock and 1 gem or something along those lines. As you progress in the game, the farther and farther you get, they will need more and more complicated things. They might have to have a pond turtle shell. Well, if you haven't had your fishermen out fishing, you won't have any turtle shells. And you can't trade for those. Those have to be caught live and then killed to save the shell. So what can happen at that point is they can actually go insane from not being able to fulfill this mood. And they will actually go insane. And when they go insane, again, several things can happen. They can become murderous psychopaths, and they'll run out of the room and start killing everybody, and they're, super powered, and, probably can wipe out your whole fortress, literally kill everybody and end your game. They might just go into a melancholy. They'll take all their clothes off. They'll wander around until they die of starvation or dehydration. So it just depends on the kind of mood, but you want to make sure that you help them fulfill their quest here to build this. And that's one reason I put the doors in. In fact, I see a couple of places that I don't have doors. So we're going to put a door there, and a door there. And so we can when he's in here, we can actually hit the Q button and go over, and it will tell you he sketches pictures of a quarry, and that's it. It's not moving, it's not doing anything. Well, let's unpause it. Let's see, unpause. All right, Q. All right, well, he's out of the shop now. So if he wants more than one item, and it will be very vague. So when he says pictures of a quarry, well, a quarry is where you get rock from, so he needs rocks. So he's going to come out and he's going to grab a rock here. And if we look there, he has, in the shop, he brought a piece of magnetite. Okay, so he's brought a piece of iron ore. And he's off just gathering materials. So you really want to watch these guys close, till they get started. Now, here we've got another announcement. He has begun a mysterious construction. So at this point, we know we're safe. He's found everything he wants to build this item, and he's working away. So I don't need to lock the doors. If I had the doors locked, I could unlock them now. And locking the doors keeps him locked inside. Now, of course, nobody can use this shop as long as he's in there, but it keeps him inside, so if he does, become psychotic, he'll just go insane until he dies in that room and not kill anybody else. So it's self-preservation, basically. All right, so we'll unpause the game. He's working away. Our other miner is down here, and I'm going to build another stockpile, but this one's going to be a custom stockpile. And I'm going to build just a one wide stockpile right there. I'm going to hit escape, and then I'm going to hit Q to set it up. So I'm going to go into settings. I want to enable furniture, but in the quality sections, I want to only allow artifacts. So we're going to forbid qualities and then just turn artifacts back on. Then we're going to come over and I want to allow finished goods. Same thing, just artifacts. All right, and weapons, I will enable only artifacts. Armor, do the same thing, only artifacts. And that's it. So those are the items that you can make an artifact, that you can create an artifact. So what that will do, and in fact I need to come back up here, and I want to go into the furniture stockpile, and I want to turn off artifacts. And then I want to come down into the finished goods, and I want to turn off artifacts here as well. Okay. And let's do that for the goblets too, because we're not going to sell an artifact goblet. So you have to, again, like we mentioned, in one of the earlier episodes, whatever you do in one place, you have to make sure you're doing the corresponding items in other places that are affected. So you do have to have some recall on what's going on. Taking a look, they've started bringing some wood in. I can go to my... So now I am green instead of red, so that shows us that the minecart's there, but nobody's putting anything into it yet. That's not a high priority job, so they're just hauling it first. Alright, so he's working away. I've turned off the artifacts here. I've activated the artifacts here. So what should happen is as the artifacts are built, they will be brought and put into this stockpile. Now I'll have to expand that at some point. This is good for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can put 7 artifacts in here. Alright, so they're... Okay, the werecat, or the were-ape, Kata Thassathiti has come, a large ape twisted into humanoid form. Alright. These are bad. I do not have a military. We are going to go look at others, and we will go to unit. Alright, and there's the were-ape up here. Now I do have somebody outside. Now, I'm going to keep it paused. Before I do anything, I'm going to go into my military screen, and that's going to be M. I'm going to go to alerts. And you can set this up earlier in the game. I usually do it the first time I have to. And we are going to add an alert. And we are going to name that alert, and I call mine under attack. Alright, now I will come back to this in a minute. Now what we're going to do now is we are going to go into the W screen, and that's to make a burrow. Okay? And we're going to add a burrow, and we are going to define the burrow. So enter. Okay? Now, right here you can change what the symbol looks like. You can change the color. I usually just go with the default. Let's see. Okay, I need this hallway for sure because that has the lever in it. And I'm going to allow up to here. And you can take the walls too. It's no big deal. I try to do just the rooms. You have to make sure when you're doing the rooms that you do the doorways as well, so they can get into the room from the hallway. If it's not highlighted, they will not go there. Alright. And basically what I am doing, and it'll make sense in a minute, I am setting up the parameters for where they can go safely. Now remember, my dog is up here as well. The creature cannot break in through the fortification because it is a wall, but he could certainly look through the hole and scare the heck out of the dog. We don't want them to go outside. I'm going to go ahead and let them keep working in their farms, dealing with the chickens. Basically anything that's inside I want to allow at this point. Mainly the ability to get to that lever. That's the priority. They need access to their food. They need access to sleep still. And now this is an area, because it's so far back, I will just turn everything on down here. Like that. And even though it goes across the walls, as long as it doesn't go outside, if I had even one square outside, they would wander around to get there. And right now what I'm worried about is them getting killed. So let's see, that should be, no, I need this area here. Okay. I guess I'll still allow the block room. I mean, all they're going to be doing is putting stuff in there. And then I need to go downstairs. Now here's what's interesting. Remember how when we were designating to dig, I can highlight but not hit enter the second time and just go down to the bottom of the stairs, and then I can hit enter there and it will highlight all of the areas here. Alright, now this area, I'm just going to highlight the whole area there. Alright, so that's my shops. Oh, my dining room. Need to let them be working in there still. Alright. And then I'm going to hit escape because now I've covered everything. And I want to... I want to name this burrow. And this will be my under attack burrow. Notice it's the same name as my alert screen. So let's go back into alerts. Military, and then alerts. I want to put there's my under attack. So I highlight it blue and then I go over and I hit enter. So when they're under attack, they will be in their under attack burrow. Now, you'll notice this, the green civilians, they are currently inactive. So I need to, what I've done so far is all I've done is I've linked up this new alert with this burrow that I just created. But now when I want to use that alert, I have to go there and hit enter. And now the civilians have been moved to under attack. And what this does is it forces them to go into that burrow. Now the other thing I need to do, I have now where creatures can move quickly, very quickly. Alright, so this is one of my axe dwarfs, but he does not have a weapon. And right now I am not in a place that I can fight this creature. So I'm going to hit Q, come down to my lever, and there's my lever, the one we hooked up to the bridge. I'm going to add a task. I'm going to pull that lever, and it's an emergency, so we're going to do it now. Now that doesn't mean they'll come do it this second, but somebody will come to it, hopefully this guy right here, and we may have to sacrifice this person outside. Okay, so there's our were-ape at the top of the screen. Here's one of our dwarfs that's probably going to die. Now, the other thing I can do real quick is let's go into I, and I want to remove, and I'm just going to remove this zone. When you remove that zone, these animals are no longer pastured there. When they're not pastured, they will go to the meeting place, which means they should try to get inside. So I'm going to try to save the animals as well. What I'm hopeful to some extent is that they draw the attack of the were-ape, and he's able to get inside prior to the lever being pulled. Now, this is where it gets dicey because a bridge doubles as an atom smasher. Whatever is on top of the bridge When it is closed, will be flung up into the air and basically flung into outer space. They will be destroyed. And if if the bridge is up and you're in the place where the bridge is going to come down, it will smash you into oblivion. Literally an atom smasher. There will be nothing left. So I am going to, all right, I want to get rid of that. All right, and I'm going to, all right, I'm going to just hit the period button, which is a step process. Now, the animals have lit up with blue question marks. That means they're confused because their setting that they were just a second ago has changed. Remember, we got rid of the pasture. All right, so there's our were-ape up there. All right, so he has started moving. Our animals have not responded yet. And he's going to store an item in a stockpile. And by hitting the period key, all I'm doing is stepping so it goes slowly. Ooh, I had another dwarf out here. Oh my goodness. All right, so we have a crafter that's hanging around outside. Or he was picking up something at the depot, more than likely. All right, so here comes the were-ape. We have our axe dwarf that has made it inside. Now, were creatures are also building destroyers, so he is probably at some point going to destroy my depot. Nobody has gotten down here yet. Oh, this is killing me. All right, let's go into our military screen real quick. Remember, we had Udib's Atom Smashers, and we had 2 people. Now, one of them I have turned into an archer. So we're going to come down, and I'm just going to hit enter, and Dishmab will disappear. Now I'm going to come over. We had a couple of archers. Okay, Moldath, enter, and Stukos. All right, so now I don't want them to be Udib's Atom Smashers. I want them to be Udib's Archers. Okay, then we're going to come back to there. We're going to create a squad appointed by Udib with no armor, because I don't have any yet. Now, it defaults back up to your first group. I go down to this new group, and I'm going to start pulling in my melee guys. So there's a hammer dwarf, an axe dwarf, a hammer dwarf, a mace dwarf, and another mace dwarf. All right, so we're going to name them, and this will be Dishmab's Destroyers. So I try to use words that are indicative of what kind of combat they can do, and eventually I will break this out where my axe dwarfs will be in a separate group. I'll have blunt weapons and edged weapons, so axe and sword and spears will be in one, hammers and mace will be in another one, because the type of weapons they use are good against different sorts of monsters. All right, so we've extended that. And what I want to do now, I really need somebody to go pull that damn lever. Do it now. Okay, it looks like it turned green, so somebody must be doing that. Let's see. We can go to U. And yes, Tyrist is going to pull the lever. So let's go to him, and that's him right there. So he has to get from here to here and then pull the lever, and it takes 100 count in game for the lever, for the bridge to respond to the lever. So the good news is our dwarf should make it inside. Our animals have started to move from here, but very slowly. And again, what I'm hoping is that they draw the attention of the were creature. Now, were creatures, think about them. Werewolves, what do we know about them? Well, they turn into the creature during a full moon, correct? Well, if we look here in the upper corner, you see this big round 0. That is your moon phase. So right now, the full circle means full moon. the game progresses rather quickly, so as soon as the full moon is gone, he will revert to whatever form is his natural humanoid form. And at that point, we can go out and kill him. And I like to do that to these guys because they inflict a lot of wear and tear on me. Alright, we're going to go ahead and unpause it. Oh, nope, that was too quick. Alright, so we're going to just step forward here. Alright, so he's still coming in. Alright, our two dwarfs got inside. Okay, he flipped the switch. Our donkey is outside. And where is the were creature? Oh, he came over here. He's chasing the horse. Alright, so good news. Nope. He changed his mind and he doubled back towards the donkey, but the bridge is closed. Now, we're safe inside. Remember, I have the bridge that opened from this direction folded up. So that's a closed bridge. So now we're safe. He cannot get inside to our dwarfs. Okay? So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go back to military, to my alert screen, and I'm going to hit enter on inactive and put them back into an inactive status, all the civilians, so they can go anywhere they want, but they can't get outside. Now the other thing I'm going to do, we have set up our military, but we also have squads. So I'm going to hit S, and there's my two squads that I have built. Udib's Archers, Dishmab's Destroyers. I'm going to select B, and then I'm going to move them. So M, and I want to move them right up by the bridge. And now they're on station, and they will gather right here. The reason I want that done is as soon as he changes, I want to open the bridge and then let them get outside to try to attack and kill him. All right, so now we have a report here, a combat report. So the were-ape is fighting. All right, and it's page 1 of 1. So the were-ape attacked the horse. The were-ape bit the horse, tearing the muscle. He latched on firmly. The stray horse broke his grip. The were-ape attacked again and then scratched him. Now, what I'm concerned about is this bite. Not really a scratch, but a bite. The fact that he bit the horse could now be infected with lycanthropy as well, and he could turn into a werehorse in the future. So what we're going to have to do, unfortunately, is we're going to go into Z, look at the animals, enter. I need to go down and find that horse right there, and we are going to set him to be slaughtered. So we're going to kill the horse as a preventative measure in case he has lycanthropy. It does turn into food. We will be able to cook it and eat it. It will not affect us through cooking, but we want to make sure that we don't have to worry about the horse in the future. All right, we're just going to let the game run at speed. All right. Oh, there was another dwarf outside. My furnace operator. Well, at least they were the ones that were not very talented. Now, let's go back up to our reports. All right, so the furnace op is fighting. So he's punched the were-ape. All right. So the furnace operator's trying to get inside, but he's actually attacking the donkey. So I'm going to go back into my military screen. I'm going to create one more new squad. And this is just going to be a temporary squad. And I do this because, and there's my furnace operator. Okay, and I'm going to go to squads and C, and then I want to move him way over here. All right, so he's going to be on station. So now you notice his icon is changed to a military person. So what I'm hoping is, as the were-ape is involved with fighting the donkey, he can move away because he has not been hit yet by the were-ape, and hopefully he will be able to get away and stay away. All right. Well, let's see. What did the were-ape do? Nope, the were-ape grabbed the furnace. Oh, he charged him, knocked him down, grabbed him by the toe, punched him in the leg. Okay, so they are fighting. So it does not look good. You can see a splatter of donkey blood there. The donkey is wounded. We can look at his wounds. His neck, his left front leg, his tail, his right eye are all red. The yellow is injured. So we are going to go in to animals, to our donkey, and we're going to butcher him as well. Again, just preventative. Usually I do that early on until I can get them into an underground pasture. But, you know, this typically happens. So usually I would butcher them early on and then worry about getting animals via trade later on. Let's see. All right, well, I tell you what, let's put a cut in right here. I know it's right in the middle of the action, but we are at the 30-minute mark, so let's go ahead and put a cut. Thanks for watching. We'll pick up and see what happens to our furnace operator and the were-ape in our next episode. Take care.